welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Today we're diving into the 4th century after Christ, one of the most intense, bloody, and transformative periods in European history. The Roman Empire as we know it is about to change forever. It all begins with Diocletian, a man who tried to save the empire at any cost. He looks at the chaos, constant invasions, runaway inflation, generals killing each other for power. And he decides to divide everything. In 293, he creates the Tetrarchy, 4 rulers governing for parts of the empire, with 2 Augusti and 2 Caesars. In 301, Diocletian tries to tame inflation with the famous edict on maximum prices. Everything is price-controlled: bread, meat, shoes, wages. The black market explodes, people are arrested for selling an egg above the fixed price, and inflation keeps laughing in his face. In 303 comes the darkest chapter. Influenced by Galerius, Diocletian launches the greatest persecution Christians ever suffered in Roman history. Churches are demolished, sacred books burned, Christians lose jobs, citizenship, and very often their lives. The goal was simple: to eradicate Christianity, which was seen as a threat to the unity of the empire. But the more they persecuted, the more the faith spread. The persecution ended up becoming fuel for the fire. In 305 something almost unbelievable happens: Diocletian and Maximian simply abdicate. They voluntarily leave the throne. It is the first and practically the only time this happens in nearly 1,000 years of Rome. This is the beginning of the greatest chaos. From 306 to 312, things get even more intense. Constantine is acclaimed Augustus in Britain after his father's death. Maxentius takes Rome by force. Maximian comes back, betrays, attempts a coup, flees, tries another coup, and is eventually forced to commit suicide. Galerius dies. Licinius emerges. Maximinus Dea. Everyone wants the throne. Everyone distrusts everyone else. And then comes October 28, 312. The Milvian Bridge. Rome on the banks of the Tiber. Before the decisive battle, Constantine looks up to the sky and sees something that changes the history of the world: a cross of light, and the words "In hoc signo vinces," in this sign, you shall conquer. He orders the Christian symbol painted on his soldiers' shields and goes into battle. He wins. Maxentius drowns in the river. And Christianity, which was once persecuted, is now going to rule the empire. In 313, Constantine and Licinius sign the Edict of Milan, religious tolerance and the return of confiscated Christian property. In 325, Constantine convenes the Council of Nicaea, which creates the creed that we still recite today. In 330, he moves the capital to Byzantium, renames the city Constantinople, and shifts the center of the empire to the east. But while Rome is becoming Christian, a storm is gathering in the east. Horsemen coming from the steppes of Central Asia. They use composite bows and ride horses. Merciless. These are the Huns. Around 370 to 376 they crush the Alans, Ostrogoths, and Visigoths. The Goths, desperate, knock on the Roman Empire's door asking for asylum. Rome lets them in, and bitterly regrets it. In 378 comes one of the worst defeats in Roman history, the Battle of Adrianople. Emperor Valens dies on the field. The legions are massacred. The northern borders never recover. It is the beginning of the end. In 380, Theodosius decrees that Christianity becomes the official religion of the empire. In 395, he dies, and the empire is divided forever. Arcadius takes the east and Honorius the west. The Roman Empire as we know it ceases to exist as a single entity. The 4th century was this: desperate reforms, brutal persecutions, visions that changed religions, endless civil wars, and on the horizon, the shadow of the Huns and the peoples being pushed by them. It was the century that buried classical Rome, and paved the way for the Middle Ages. Thank you so much for time traveling with us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to leave a like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to get notified when the next episodes are released. See you in the next one.